Hello guys, boys and girls, and recently there was a video that me and these other people thought didn't characterize us correctly, and we thought we should just give a quick, right to the point response of our perspective and the way we saw things and how we felt, and then you guys can take those things and decide for yourself. So when the video starts, you can see me making some pretty cringy, toxic statements. Should I have made those heartless, cringy statements? Honestly, probably not. But when you come after my friends, the people I hold dear, the people I care about, you come after my community, something I've worked hours for, and you go in and you try and destroy that or you try and damage that, I'm gonna say some pretty ignorant shit because honestly, you've affected me in a very, very hurtful way. Um, when someone turns on you and stabs you in the back after you supported them through the hiring process, when people told you not to hire that person, you gave that person a chance, and then you didn't fire that person, but you asked them to invest more time and gave them a chance to improve. And then during that whole process, you were respectful, you thanked that person, you understood when they couldn't do work. When someone does that and turns around and stabs you in the back, you're going to say some ignorant, angry stuff. I think a lot of us can sympathize with that. Sabotaging the TikTok is another thing. So when you upload videos to the account, they are owned by the Fallen SMP TikTok. You are surrendering your right to own that video because it is now on our account. So going back and deleting a bunch of popular videos over the fact that you wanted to get paid from a TikTok that does not get any money, it gets pennies, literally pennies to the dollar. Um, I take offense to that. After all the time I invested in you and the support I gave you, you turn around to do that. I mean, I'm gonna be pretty angry. I'm not gonna lie. Spreading false rumors with your friends and jokes as jokes, those are also damaging. Those aren't jokes. Those are false rumors. So again, I think anyone who was in my position would take offense to that and be like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing?" Like, um, when you hurt people like who support you, honestly, I will stand by one statement. When you hurt people who support you, like David and Kay and others, yeah, you will end up sad and alone. And I do stand by that statement 100% because it's true. And yeah, another thing we do need to talk about is the slander section of Fallen SMP. In that section, you name someone who I won't name because I have respect for them, who was a good friend of mine. I enjoyed spending time with that person. I cared and looked at that person like a borderline family member. So yeah, you got me there. I don't mind. But name dropping that person in petty drama without asking for that person's permission or caring about what that effect may have to that person is really disrespectful. And you come at my reputation and attack my character, but you have little ground to stand on when it comes to your reputation when you're doing things like that. But I'm sure Kay and David can bring more light to it within time. I think people can judge for themselves under my perspective of things if they don't want to be in Fallen SMP based off those things that I said out of anger, out of hurt, out of someone coming after something I really cared about, pretty much my livelihood in my eyes, then I understand that and I respect that. But I know the members around me know who I am and know who I truly am and what I truly stand for. So I'm going to let Kay speak and she can take the floor.
Okay, so basically, like Blue and stuff said, there are a few things to explain regarding the video that was published, from one of the ex staff members, on their YouTube channel. My explanation is a bit lengthy, so please bear with me. But in the video that was published, there was some very harmful information that was, quote unquote, leaked per se about Blue, me, and David. There was clips in the video of conversations that went on between me and said staff member or ex-staff member, and I will say that there's no way I can defend my actions because I do not condone anyone telling another person to end their life, and I'm not proud of my actions. But I do think that what was stated in that video was very misleading, and it was taken very out of context, and it was clipped into what it really wasn't. Um, So I'm not really one to come out about serious announcements, but it really went too far. And the thing is, like I said, like there's no way I can really like come back from what I said. Like it's done and I need to do better. But there definitely was some really hard reasons for why I said it. The biggest one, it was out of anger, like Blue said. Like, people don't realize that me and Burge, like, we had like a really good friendship, and we had stayed up like countless nights, like FaceTiming and hanging out, and like talking about personal information. Like, Bird has my personal information. Like, he has information on me that could potentially get leaked or get me like doxxed or get me in trouble some way. Like, if he really wanted to, he has the information to where he could snatch like my address and like family members like names and stuff like that. Like he has that information. And while it was my fault for giving him my number and stuff like that, like I don't trust it, you know? And from everything that happened, he said some very awful things to both me, Blue, and David, or about us. For example, him, his friend, and a lot of their other friends were very, very sexist towards me, and they had mentioned multiple times, and I quote, that yes, nobody is taken by a bitch who wears a muscle, which is referring to me. So, over the course of the next few days, I'd once again get told that I need to wear a muzzle by more of his friends, because I am a female. So, not only that, but they continuously went after Yes Nobody and tried to grab his name. Luckily, they were unfortunate enough, well, fortunate in our case, to not actually grab his real name, but they attempted to, and they had spammed the Discord, and they pretty much went rogue in the SMP. Not only that, but when I had confronted them about the entire thing, they had treated me like garbage. They had continuously told me how much they don't care about me, how much they pretty much didn't value our friendship. They had no care whatsoever about what they were doing, and from what it sounds like, it was all premeditated. So, and their only excuse was that they wanted to go out with a bang, and that the ex-staff member was mad about getting paid. Now, to talk about this, like, it's very obvious, and it's been very obvious from day one, that when you work for Fallen, we don't make any stable revenue or income for members, like for staff members to get paid. It's all volunteer. So, like, it's known, you know, it's stated multiple times that if you are a staff member, it's very unlikely that you will get paid, at least for a while, because, you know, it's a Minecraft server. It's a small Minecraft SMP. You know, it's nothing like the massive YouTubers and stuff like that who get paid. Because we just don't generate that in like that much income. Also, so basically, besides that, he had under the impression that he was doing work that Fallen didn't really deserve, that he was doing too much work, which is a very false statement, because for media, which is what he had, there were multiple people to help him with his job. There were people who helped upload videos. There were like I have volunteered to help with TikToks multiple times. I've been in them for him. And it's very like untrue. Like we have devs who work day in and day out for the server. A lot of us staff members have been here for way longer than they have, and have done a lot of work, and we've never really complained about getting paid, because like I've done media before and I've put in that work, and yeah, it's hard work, but it gets you places, and you know, it's known in the beginning that you don't get paid from that. You know, plus going into that, what was recorded about me, like telling him to end his life, obviously is like unexcusable, but that was a clip of me blowing up. It was a clip after events and events and events just taking place one after another, him screwing me over and over again, and he had just been lucky enough to record me blowing up over it, which I am not like that in real life. I think that is probably one of the only times that I've ever told somebody something like that, and obviously I need to make improvements on that, because it wasn't right to do. 2 wrongs don't make a right. However, that was a very misleading clip, and there was a lot more that went into that. I do have the full video of that conversation, and that was, I think, 1 out of like 2 hurtful things that I've said. I'll come out and say it right now. Like, I had mentioned my past, which obviously it's not it's not an excuse for what was said, but that's probably the only other harmful thing that was probably mentioned in it. But I do have the full conversation, and that definitely was a very small clip of like a 30-minute conversation, of him telling me basically why he should have gotten paid and stuff like that. And I just happened to blow up at him, which, like I said, isn't right, but it is after like a long time of anger at him because he screwed me over. He treated my friends like really bad, and he completely ruined our friendship. And he went after someone really close to me, so that's not right in my opinion.
I mean, when you keep pushing someone after they've been supporting you,
Yeah.
and then you record them at their worst moment, you can make anybody look bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's almost deceptive in a way. It doesn't represent a person as a whole and all the events that led up to the situation and all the support that person may have gave you before then. It's just a clip in time of,
Yeah.
look at the results of actions that I did to this person. Look how bad they are. It does, do you think...
Yeah.
It's why, it's like, do you give respect to that person who's constantly disrespecting you? And
exactly. And like going into that, like, I do think that I definitely have given him a lot of chances. Like, I've given him a lot of support. I bought a Christmas gift for him. I bought a Christmas gift for him. I included him with Secret Santa. I tried to be the most caring person I possibly could. I treated him like I would treat anybody else. And I really tried my best to be a supportive friend, but after the way he had treated me and the people close to me that I've known for well over 2 years, 2 years, coming up on 3 in like 3 months, I think. Then I'm obviously gonna get upset as anybody would. Like I said, it doesn't excuse what I said, but that does not represent me as a person, and it was very misleading as to. Yeah, it was just very misleading. I do not act like that on daily.
Okay, before I start my bit, I just really quick want to say that Bird asking for payment for the work that he did is not fair whatsoever. I guarantee over 100 hours of work has been put into this server overall in all of its years of existence. Not a single person has been paid for that. Nobody. This is and has always been a volunteer thing. You do it because you love the server and because you want to help out. This is not a thing where we agreed to give him money and he hasn't gotten his payment. He's just salty because he, I guess, didn't get paid when he was never told he was going to. Anyway, on to the real juice of my bit, which is homophobia and transphobia. I myself have a TikTok account where I present myself in the light of being a femboy, which is similar to the light that I present myself on Fallen and kind of the online OC that I've kind of built. In doing so, I've come out as being bisexual, and I overall have just been like a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Well, Bird will come up to me and say stuff along the lines of "go kiss men" in a extremely homophobic way, trying to say kissing men is bad, and also just in general using gay as an insult, which is homophobic. You should not use just a thing that people are as a insult against them, something that they can't control.
And even if it's just jokes, these jokes and these kind of mentalities are used to suppress people in the community as well as in the world from expressing being themselves. When people hear those kind of jokes, it lessens their identity and their ability to be like, can I be this person, or is it okay? Even if a person is joking, it's still forwarding those stereotypes and participating in those kind of things.
And the worst part to me is the transphobia. Trans people have a 50% suicide rate, roughly. That is an insane number. And the main reason, statistically, for that is lack of acceptance by family members and friends. I myself am not trans, but if I was somebody in the closet, a correct thing to say to me would not be, and I quote, "just be a girl." Because I simply wore a skirt, I was told to just be a girl. Imagine if I was struggling with my identity, which I kind of do already, and that was the thing that pushed me over the line.
Well, it's
Statements
more about
are extremely
empathizing with people and understanding their struggle and
well,
understanding
statements like these are extremely hurtful because they are the type of statements that cause people to take drastic steps that they shouldn't take and do stuff like end their life. These are the statements that continue the cycle of people being oppressive towards minorities, including trans people.
Well, yeah, you don't know
Not
the struggle the person's going through, and you're just possibly making it even worse on top of that.
and
Especially if they tell you to stop.
the funny part is that in Bird's video, I didn't actually say anything like what Blue and Kay had said. I simply existed as a feminine male, and he found issue with that and needed to add me in as a part of, oh, look at how stupid this is. Dude wearing a skirt. Oh, that's bad. That's, like, if that's not seen as ridiculous by you, I don't see what would be. And then just finally, I know Bird has misgendered people many, many times, including people like Rain, who is a openly trans person on our server. And that's not okay. You should not misgender people. That's my gist.
I don't know, to wrap it up, I would say based on all these things, especially after we supported and dealt with these things over multiple times, would you give respect, or would you would you give respect at the end of the day to someone who constantly does these things, and at the end of the day, even though you're nice to them still, goes and stabs you in the back? Would you be able to look at that person and be like, in that moment where you're feeling hurt, be able to be like, oh, I should respect this person, or this person deserves my respect? I would say no at all. And that's why, I wish the best for them, but they've burned that bridge.
Really quick, also, on the subject that was brought up, where I was accused of trying to dox Bird, it's just simply false. I can show the screenshots if he wants to try and say that I'm lying about that, but it's clear as day that when I received my package from him that was a Secret Santa gift, it simply just had his address in there. I notified him that it had his address and told him that I would not share it with anybody and that I would be mature about the fact that I now had it and I wasn't going to do anything with it. I even deleted the photo that I had taken to show him that they had sent me his address. I basically was letting him know that when he does send people gifts on Amazon, to change the way he does it, that way it doesn't send them also his address. But instead, him and his friends decided to start harassing me about how I was trying to dox him, when I literally never said a single thing that would imply I was trying to dox him, and I specifically said that I wasn't, and that I wasn't planning on sharing his information with anyone. Try and refute it, Birdie.
But yeah, we have a lot of DMs, we have a lot of logs, we're ready to go to back up the things we want to do. So anyways, this is going to be our response to this. I mean, as you can see over and over again, we gave support, we got it thrown back in our space in disrespect, and then we had a result of it. We don't defend those actions, but we want people to understand the result of those actions and how we got to that point. Other than that, apply to the server down below. Good luck to everybody, and that's all I got.